Tom.
Amanda. Christy.
And we are here for week number 7 or 8. I can't remember. They're kind of blended together. What's going on?
What are we talking about in class this week? Well, we were reading about enrichment, small group, and like leveling
tracking
kids
and ability grouping.
Right. And pros, cons, how it affects the community, and all that stuff. I think just overall, and we talk about this 1,000 times, teach the kid.
Exactly.
All of it's okay as long as it's a fluid program.
Exactly.
Whole school, just the classroom, but we always go back and forth the logistics. Like, can it be done?
Yeah.
In our school setting, I don't know.
I mean, for me, it's like I went through when I was here in the school system back in the dark ages, pre NCLB. We actually did tracking in the school. So I mean, I enjoyed it because I was with people who were at my same intellectual level every year. So like I had people that would push me, people who would stimulate me, and I mean, and it was tracking, but it wasn't really tracking. It was more like ability grouping because I was able to move down. Like when I went to high school in English, like a couple of years I was able to do advanced English, but then there was 2 years where I wasn't able to do advanced English, and I dropped down to regular English, and it didn't affect my degree or anything.
Yeah, that was kind of more flexible. It's kind of like, I think tracking and ability grouping is like a fine line because
it is.
In my high school or my school system, Chesterfield County, they were like, oh, we don't track. But I tell you what, when I graduated my high school, there were 500 kids in my graduating class. I didn't know one person I sat near because I was always in the honors classes. I met a lot of new people when I decided my school we were Blue Ribbon School of Excellence, and to like maintain that, they decided not to have honors programs anymore. And you could either do AP, regular, or I guess the Z level is what they called it, like remediation. And I looked at my mom and I said, I'm a senior. I'm going to do an AP government because everyone knew it was the same as honors. You just had to do more vocabulary words. And I didn't want to look up 500 vocabulary words.
Right. And that's one of the problems with the present system in a lot of places is that the children are not being challenged. They're not being stretched. They're just being given more work. So that argument against enrichment or whatever you want to call it in your district, it ends up not being enriching in any way. It's punishing. It's unfortunate.
And I think it's lack of education in the teachers because think about our undergraduate program. I mean, I know we talked about the word enrichment, and I loved my undergraduate program. I think I learned a lot from it, but what do we focus more on? Helping those kids who can't pass the test.
Right.
Not the ones that are succeeding and they get left behind.
Yep.
And, I just think we need more professional development on how to teach enrichment lessons for all levels of kids without it being extra paperwork and not being a waste of time. And like if I had somebody to push me and it was an AP class that was valid, then I probably would have taken it. But I didn't. It was a waste of my time, I thought.
And I would love to have more chance, like teach me how to teach these higher kids. Like give me professional development that works with not just the lower kids. I mean, yes, they matter too, and yes, they're important, but our higher kids are just as important, if not more so. I mean, they're just as important as our lower kids, and I feel like we totally give them kind of a raw deal.
Like we get in our school, and we talked about this in class, that we're a little bit worried about stepping outside the box. Like today, I was observed when I was doing my high reading group, which I don't do the guided reading program.
Yeah, you do
with my high group. I do a book club. It's different. We're not supposed to do round robin reading. That's what we do. They want to read out loud. I do all this different stuff that we are not supposed to do, but I didn't get things to call, which I thought I would for my walkthrough.
Yeah.
But if I came in and had a math group and we were doing math centers, I feel like I would get in trouble.
Well, I mean,
not right now because we don't have any shared math plans, but
yeah.
And that's one of the things, Tom, what you said is I really like about ability grouping. And we're so intent on putting these labels on everything that we miss the forest for the trees, as where we want to label our children so we don't hurt their feelings. but we end up creating those situations where maybe we're preserving someone's feelings. I don't know. We can't tell because we're not really teaching them.
Yeah.
Ability grouping doesn't have to be a bad thing. I mean,
No, it
the
doesn't.
teacher is
They do
able.
it. They do it. They do it from middle school on.
The teacher is able to really focus on what those kids need instead of trying to meet 24 different needs. Teacher can focus on a group that has very similar needs instead of trying to spread out all of the students that have special needs and all of the students that are gifted learners or English language. Instead of trying to spread them out and telling the teacher, you need to address, these 6 really critical groups of needs within your classroom. Instead of grouping them
Yeah.
and letting the teacher really hone in on what one group needs.
Yeah.
I don't think we're helping anybody by trying to preserve all of these feelings because we put nasty labels on different
And that's
things.
why pre-assessment is so important. And I wish we could do that more. We have to wait to do our assessment until we're allowed to do the PALs and that.
Yeah.
And it's frustrating because you don't really have any idea where the kids are. And I would love to give. Now we're not allowed to have our end of the year test because it's sealed and we can't see it. But I would love to give that end of the year test at the beginning and say, where is the discrepancy?
Right.
Who needs to know what? And then we really could do that.
Yeah.
Compacting. Yeah.
Right.
But that would be a hard road on our own. Newer teachers making that end of the year assessment to give a pre-assessment. But I would find that very beneficial. And then it's so easy to make your group.
Right.
Who falls in this range? Who falls in this range?
Yeah.
Who falls in this range?
No, I totally agree with you on that. I mean, it would allow you to go, okay, well, this person has problems with this, and this, so I can help. I go, all right, I'm gonna concentrate on this, and this, and then if all my class knows say they get 90% of my class knows shapes or something like that. I don't have to spend a whole week on shapes. I can spend a day or two on it, and then move on. Oh, but if I know right now we're doing place value, and I know our kids are having a heck of a time with place value. I mean, my whole review has been basically working on place value because it's so difficult for them at this point. Because one reason we're doing it too early, but that's not.
That's neither here nor there.
That's neither here nor there. But I mean, I can if I know beforehand, well, this is where they're going to be stuck up. Well, then I can concentrate on that SOL or that group of SOLs and really work hard on that and pound that out, and maybe work on that maybe 2 or 3 weeks instead of the 1 week that they give us.
Right. And you can say, I think it would give some kids such self-esteem and the teacher self-esteem because looking at the pre-assessment and saying, wow, he got 10%, but on his final assessment he got 60%. He still failed, but I brought him 50%.
Points. Yeah.
I mean, that is a big.
That's a huge leap.
But if you're going from 90 to 95, I taught that kid nothing.
Yeah.
That's true.
I taught him nothing.
He already knew most of the material.
And if there's
he just floated.
he did nothing.
Right.
Because 5%, I mean, you could learn that in your sleep.
Right. You can learn that by accident.
Right. And for the kids, and you just say, oh, you're so good at science, and then being able to shift groups, maybe being in the low group for math, but the high group for social studies.
Well,
yeah.
It might.
There's a whole host of issues. I think none of the programs seem to address all of the needs 100%. Especially when you factor in the human element, which the children are going to change from year to year. You can't do that hard, fast track them. I mean, is it a good idea to try and keep them moving on the same direction they've been on? Sure, push them. But if they need to come off the track, that needs to be okay too.
Yeah, I agree. That's why I like ability grouping. Because ability grouping gives you the option. The kid's awesome in this. Great, but we put them in a high group. If he's not so awesome in something else, that's fine. We'll put him in a middle or low group.
And the difference could be too. This one's mom worked all summer with reading. This one didn't. But you know what? They're one level higher. But this one, is really at a slower pace. And the other one excels. So that could be a difference. Just one person went to summer school and had support. Well, now they're falling back behind or falling
Or when
you know,
you're
or
like summer
excel.
scholars or whatever.
Right.
Right.
And so, you know, you're right, they change your role all the time. Or something's going on at home and they just can't.
I think part of the problem is that children change so rapidly and from year to year so much, but the way we do things doesn't. We are still
Yeah.
doing things the way we've always done them.
Since
Just
1940.
since that's the way it's always been done. Not factor in, you can't have a hard system like that. It doesn't change because the people in the system change so much, so fast when they're that age, and we're not changing with them. And we're doing all of them ourselves a disservice.
But I guess, I mean, you have to just try and take, I don't know, 2 lessons a year and develop enrichment. Then every year you're going to add on and add on, and then
Yeah.
by your 5th year, you have everything there for you. And it is the hardest at the beginning.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, it's overwhelming. There's a lot of stuff I'm doing this year that I couldn't do before because it was just too much.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, same here. All right, well, we'll go ahead and we're going to call it a week this week, and we'll be back next week. See you guys later.
Bye.